why has this happened? You were planning to do your masters from Germany. This is something which is very important for you. There have been exams like GRE and GMAT which are not so popular anymore, but historically these have been ways for comparing students from different backgrounds. This is now a mandatory academic aptitude test that sits right in the middle of your APS verification process. Hello everyone, I'm Piyush Bhartiya, your study abroad coach. So guys, in this video, we are going to be covering an overview of the dMAT test. Then we are going to be looking at who must give dMAT and who all are exempted from this dMAT process. Then we're going to look at all the rules and regulations, the deadlines, the registrations date and the process, the costs associated, and all the formalities in booking your slot. Lastly, I'm going to break down this test into its structure and how you can prepare for it. So let's get started. On 29th June 2026, APS India, which validates your prior education credentials for studying in Germany, has introduced a new test called dMAT, the Digital Masters Test. This is now a mandatory academic aptitude test that sits right in the middle of your APS verification process. I know you are jumping out of your seats, but don't panic. This isn't a pass or a fail kind of exam. It's an aptitude check. But from now on, if you fall into the affected category, then you will need this exam to get your APS. Before I tell you more about it, let's try to understand what this test is and why was it introduced. So dMAT is a standardized, computer-based academic aptitude test conducted in English language. It is administered by GAST, the same organization that is behind TestAS and TestDAF, which are other examinations relevant in Germany. Now the question is, why has this happened? There have been exams like GRE and GMAT which are not so popular anymore, but historically these have been ways for comparing students from different backgrounds, different countries with a common benchmark. Now, as the number of students going to Germany are growing, so Germany is going to be using this test for a standardized way of assessing the aptitude of the students who are coming into Germany so that they can reduce the ones who are academically weak. Frankly, they are smart and they are learning from countries like Canada and Australia, who are now struggling with all the less qualified students who have entered those countries, and they are struggling with this mass immigration problem. Now comes the important part. Do you need to take it or not? You only need the dMAT if any one of these things applies to you. Firstly, you are applying for a master's degree. Your previous Indian degree is in engineering, commerce or economics, or business/management, that you are targeting the summer 2027 intake or later. Or lastly, that you are registering for APS on or after 29th June 2026 and basically anytime when you are watching this video. And let's look at who is exempted. So anyone who had registered on the APS portal before 29 June 2026 or had shipped their physical documents before this date. Also exempted are applicants for winter 2026-2027 intake, because the first dMAT certificates will be available from 12th October 2026 onwards. So the intended start is actually summer 2027. Also students who are part of official exchange or double degree partnership programs, they are also exempt from the dMAT exam. And lastly, the students from standalone science degrees like BSc Physics, BSc Chemistry, etc., law, medicine, and pharmacy. Go to the APS website and read all the FAQs in detail. It will solve all your doubts. I've put the link in the description, and if you still have any doubts, do put them in the comments and I will solve them for you. And I've also put the PDF of affected degrees in the description, so you can check it out if you are exempt or not. Now let's look at the rules, regulations, and costs. dMAT costs 150 euros, approximately 16,300 rupees, and paid directly to GAST. Guys, remember this is separate from your APS fees. You need to take these tests at administered test centers and you cannot take it from home. Licensed centers are available in cities like New Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, Bhopal, Chandigarh, and Mananthavadi. The seats are first come, first serve basis, and once the center is full, you'll have to pick another center for that same date. And the certificate has indefinite validity. The first dMAT date is 26th September 2026. And as I told previously, the results of the first cycle will be available on 12th October 2026. Also, for this first exam, the registration deadline is 15th September 2026. So make sure you register early and you don't miss out on the deadline. Now, the other big question is, does the score matter? How is the scoring done? The dMAT exam is scored on a total of 200 marks. There is no minimum marks requirement. You will not be denied an APS score for low marks. APS will just record your score on your APS certificate. Most German universities have not announced that how they are going to be using these scores, but this is for universities to use for finally rejecting or accepting your application. Currently, only RWTH Aachen for battery sciences and University of Göttingen for applied data sciences actively use dMAT as a major selection criterion. But going forward, we are going to hear a lot of updates from different universities explaining the score requirements for dMAT and their cutoffs and how they are going to be using this in the selection process. So what to do now? I'm going to give you the step-by-step process. If you need to give dMAT, step number 1, check ANA-BIN. Check that your university is in the H plus category, and if not, you are not eligible for ANA-BIN, so don't even apply for dMAT exam. Number 2, register for APS. Create your account on the APS India portal, fill your details and pay your registration fee of around 18,000 rupees. Step number 3, go to the GAST portal and register for dMAT. Book your exam date, take the exam, and the test lasts for around 3.5 hours and has a break in between. Once you have your dMAT score, print your dMAT certificate and put it inside the same envelope that you are sending for your APS certificate. And this now will get added to the APS checklist. All the formalities are done, but one thing is remaining. How do you prepare for it? So first of all, you're not being tested on your specific engineering branches syllabus. It is the generic academic modules. And since you'll be taking the generic academic modules test of dMAT, preparation is simple. The core module, which will be for 90 minutes, you need to practice figure equations, mathematical systems of equations, and Latin squares, which is basically logic grids. For general academic module, which is again 90 minutes, practice reading academic scenarios and solving problems based on them. And this module does not have like a textbook or a curriculum. It is just general aptitude, and you don't really need to specifically prepare for it. The third is mental math, and this is why you need to practice solving integer equations like 1 to 20 in your head, as you are not allowed to use paper or take notes during this part of the examination. Now you understand what dMAT is for, but how do you prepare for dMAT? This is a computer-based exam which is 3.5 hours duration, and this is entirely in English, so nothing in German in this test. It is structured into 2 main parts with a break in the middle. The first part, the core module, is for 90 minutes. The core module has also 3 parts in it, each with 20 questions and 25 minutes each to finish them. And there is a 5-minute breathing time between each section. But in case you finish early in one section, the extra time doesn't carry over to the next one. The first subset module is called figure sequences. Here you are shown a series of pictures or matrices, and you have to find out the hidden logic behind them. Maybe the shapes are rotating, changing color, moving positions, or following another pattern. Once you have identified the rule, you have to choose the next 2 images that complete the rule. The second subset focuses on mathematical system of equations. Here you'll solve equations where letters replace numbers, and every letter represents the whole number between 1 and 20. And there's only one correct combination that satisfies all the equations. The section basically tests logical problem solving rather than advanced mathematics. And the last subset is called Latin squares. You'll be presented with a 5x5 grid partially filled with letters and one box marked as a question mark. Your task is to figure out which letter belongs in the empty space. The most critical rule is that during this entire time, you're not allowed to make any notes, use a scratch pad. It is purely mental logic. After this, there's a fixed break mandatory of 30 minutes. The second part, which is again of 90 minutes, is called the general academic module. In this module, you will first read a real world academic scenario and then answer multiple choice questions based on the same. It is designed to test how you can analyze information, draw conclusions, and apply your reasoning. A good way to prepare is by reading academic, technical articles and practicing questions that make you think beyond what's obvious from them. Now that you understand what is the format of dMAT, let's come to how you can prepare for it. As of now, there are no third-party mock tests available for dMAT. Your best resources are the official sample questions provided by dMAT itself, and the link is in the description. They include detailed solutions and explanations across easy, medium, and hard level questions, and you can understand the varying level of difficulty also from them. And you would also be thinking, how does the scoring work? Your score is reported on a standardized scale of 0 to 200, with 100 being the average score. Along with this, you're also given a percentile rank, giving you an idea of how you have performed across multiple test takers. And no, there is no official pass or fail score, and just the dMAT certificate is sufficient for applying for the APS certificate. However, these test results give additional information to the universities to assess your profile and give their decision. So instead of worrying about passing the test, just focus on doing your best. The dMAT is a mandatory specific hurdle now for masters in Germany, but it is not a gatekeeper for admissions, and 99% universities right now are not officially using the dMAT score. So your biggest risk is actually missing the registration deadline and delaying your intake by over 6 months. So identify your intake, check the field list, register early, and keep your application moving. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, do subscribe to our channel. Keep learning more about how you can study abroad, and share this video with all your friends who might want to go to Germany and looking to do a master's there. But until then, guys, good luck and goodbye.